Hey loves, it's Valerie Page. Welcome back to Valerie's Corner. So, this week I'm going to talk about something rather witchy. In last week's episode, you remember me mentioning losing my center and needing to find a way to recenter, and I went in this whole spiel about social media and whatnot. Yeah, so that was only part of it. The other thing that I did during that period to recenter myself was to cast a spell that a spell that I created for myself. Although I'm sure people have their own versions of this, I like to just call it my recentering spell. I don't have some deep fancy name for it yet, although I am working on my Book of Shadows. Maybe I'll come up with a better name then, but yeah, so what I do essentially is, and this really relies on memories. It's very, very heavily tied to memories. And what it entails is to take ourselves back to a moment that was an empowering moment. And I'm not just talking about your day-to-day, like, okay, that felt good. I'm talking about an empowering moment that changed your life. Case in point, October 27th, 2009. This was the day that I came out as a trans woman at an Emily Autumn concert where my coming out was literally me throwing a tie on stage. That was the greatest day of my life, and I still maintain that because I've had some brilliant days between then and now, but that one still takes the top spot on my best days list. And it was the day that changed my life the most. I mean, a lot of days have changed my life, and sometimes I reflect on those days, but to get through this recent period, I focused on that. I basically relived that day. I put on some music. I was talking about Emily Autumn, so, I was putting on some Emily Autumn music. I was watching Emily Autumn videos, including some clips from that show that I came out at. And that helped me recenter because in order for it to work, I had to remember and put myself in the place of where I was before that day. Where did I come from? What did that day do for me? How grateful am I for that day? And even though things are rough now, they're not what they were before that day. Does that make sense? I find it works extremely well. I've been losing my weight quite a bit, just with mental health stuff, with, a lot of pressure to keep creating my more lewd content. Y'all know that I have involvement in that industry, especially with quarantine and stuff, and like everyone, the whole market's saturated and everyone's like doing the thing, and it's like I was supposed to be retiring from it, and I got pulled into it more than ever, and it's like losing a sense of myself because what I do in that field was never meant to be this trying to sell a product every single damn day. It was more supposed to be, the direction I was supposed to be going with it was supposed to be more erotic art and activism, getting back to my roots. But I lost that for a minute there. So I did that spell. I relived October 27th, 2009, reflected on where I was before then, and some of the aftermath of that, and how much I've grown since then. And I found my center again. I found myself taking a break from creating content. And of course, like I mentioned last week, taking a break from social media for a minute. And I've been focusing on something I'm very, very passionate about, even if I'm not all that great at it, music. It's been, I walked away from music a while back because of a lot of blah bullshit I was dealing with. And, there's a lot of elitism and people being like, you can't be a real musician, you're a loser, I hate your music, don't ever play music again. All over the place. So, like, I quit. And, I recently got back into it. I started, I picked up my cello. I started doing stuff again. And I just didn't realize how much I missed it. And it was such a great feeling to not be selling my body. Not that there's anything wrong with that. There's a lot of empowering stuff with that. But I'm burnt out on it. And I got to focus on doing something else. Something that I'm truly passionate about in creating songs. Because I'm working on a new album. It's going to be titled Anti-Hero. And it's going to be dope. So, yeah, all that recentering helped me get through that. My mental health has improved quite a bit as a result. And I'm just feeling better about a lot of things and having a much better outlook. Having much better self-esteem. Which I can actually be strong for people that I love now. I can be strong for myself. And it all started with that spell. It all started with recentering myself, reliving that day, consuming media that reminds me of that day, i.e. Emily Autumn. By the way, if you don't know who Emily Autumn is, please go check her out. She's awesome. She really is. Like, she's inspired me so many times through the years. Check her out. So like I was listening to a lot of her songs, I was watching videos, even commenting on some of her stuff on Instagram once I got back on social media. And it's all been helpful. It's all part of that spell. It's all part of that getting back to where I came from, getting back to what empowered me, what helped create where I am now, and just rediscovering those roots. And finding my center again. So yeah, that's, if you feel so inclined, maybe try that on yourself. Remember, like, a moment in time that was extremely empowering to you, that changed your life. Relive that. It could be like a smell that you remember from then. It could be a song. It could be a show. It could be a color. Whatever reminds you of that. Focus on that. And let your mind go back to that moment. Take a step back. Remember where you came from. Remember that moment. And find your center again. So yeah. Let me know what you think. Let me know if that works for you. Let me know if you have your own version of that spell. I always like hearing from you because I see you and I love you. Alright, loves. See you next time. Bye-bye.